So my bad anime review for this episode is Pupa. Now, if you're not familiar with the show, let me give you a scene from episode 7, which will basically encapsulate the entirety of the series. We open and we see Utsu, our main protagonist, just lounging shirtless on his bed. Sitting atop of him is the lovely Yuma in her rather revealing nightdress. Yuma begins to tenderly lick Utsu's chest and down to his stomach as the camera begins to pan away. A gentle piano score plays softly in the background as we get the following monologue from Utsu. Parts of me were sliding down her throat. I saw my sister gorging herself on my flesh, but for some reason she looked so sad. Had she been crying on the inside? Interesting bit of dialogue there, I'm sure you'll agree. A lot of emotional weight in that scene, I guess you could say. And yes, he did say his sister. And yes, what you think is happening is in fact happening. This is an Emoto series, and Yuma, Utsu's little sister in this scene, is chowing down on her brother's meat, for want of a better word, as he literally bites down on a pillow to calm himself as his very own little sister slurps away. Yes, I said slurps, as there was quite a lot of unnecessary slurping sound effects in this scene going on over that lovely piano music. So why is this happening? Why in the seven hells do I have to hear about this? And why, you ask, is Yuma so thirsty for her brother while simultaneously crying on the inside? Well, the answer's pretty obvious, I would have thought. We all know what's happening, but I guess I can spell it out if I have to. Yuma, Utsu's darling little sister and the person he cares about most in this world, is infected with the virus, which means she's basically not human anymore, but we're not really sure if she was ever human, as she was born with a full set of teeth, self-awareness, and killed and ate birds as a toddler. Now she appears to have a massive red butterfly monster living inside of her, which makes her crave human flesh because she got attacked by a haunted puppy after being told to stay away from the red butterflies in episode 1 by a woman in black carrying a cat with robot camera eyes. But the butterflies didn't do anything. The puppy was the one who shot tentacles at her and made her transform into a butterfly monster. Except the butterfly monster was living inside of her from birth. Wait, what?
What the flying scrock is going on?
So what exactly did the puppy do to her anyway? She retained her consciousness after the puppy attack, but is now a butterfly and can't stop eating people even though she doesn't actually want to. But I guess it feels so wrong and yet so right because she keeps doing it, and that's why her and her brother Utsu ended up in bed together in episode 7. Oh, and she transformed back into human form in episode 3. Utsu is not in bed with a giant butterfly. But yeah, she's eating him, chowing on his flesh, piece by piece, including his vital organs. What? Did you think something else was going on?
I sure did. You had me at sister, though.
Pupa is a 12-episode anime from Studio Dean. Dean finds a way indeed. And aired from January to March of 2014. The show is rated R and is classified as a psychological horror. It is only available in sub, but will be a quick watch as each episode runs for a hearty 4 human minutes. I will now unroll the summoning mats, bow in deference to their divinity, and call upon the anointed beings of the Rewrite team to aid in our quest with a synopsis.
Blood, blood, blood for the Rewrite team. Blood, blood, blood for the Rewrite team. Blood, blood, blood for the Rewrite team.
Abandoned by their abusive parents with only each other to depend on, siblings Utsu and Yume Hasegawa find themselves led astray by beautiful red butterflies that have appeared in their world. Unbeknownst to them, these crimson winged heralds trumpet the beginning of a cannibalistic nightmare. A mysterious virus known as Pupa is about to hatch. After succumbing to the full effects of Pupa, Yume undergoes a grotesque metamorphosis into a monstrous creature with an insatiable desire for her brother. Oh, no, sorry. Flesh. Utsuku, on the other hand, is only partially affected, gaining remarkable regenerative powers instead, reaffirming the resolve to keep the promise he made to himself years ago. Utsu is willing to sacrifice everything in order to always be there for his precious little sister. Pupa tells the story of a loving brother's desperate struggle to save his sister while protecting the world from her uncontrollable hunger. Yup, that's it. That's Pupa in all its glory. Now let me quickly clear something up. Utsu, the brother, is also partially infected with Pupa too. But don't worry, the show never explained how that happened. He doesn't get the butterfly monster living inside of him or the flesh-eating cravings, or in fact any of the good stuff. He just has remarkable healing properties, which allow him to heal from any wound, mortal or otherwise. So powerful are his healing properties, in fact, that he can literally grow back his organs within seconds of them being eaten, removed, or whatever. Amazing power, I'm sure you'll agree. One slight continuity error, perhaps. He has a cool scar over his eye. Guess growing back organs arms and limbs in seconds is one thing, but curing a superficial skin wound is beyond even his remarkable powers of healing. Whatever, it's not important. The important thing is he looks cool. Anyway, because of his incredible healing ability, the major conflict of the series, like for example Tokyo Ghoul in season 1, you know, Kaneki craving human flesh but at the same time being morally disgusted by his desire to consume said flesh, is thankfully absent in this series. Yuma can just chow down on her brother episode after episode, prolonged shot after prolonged shot, slurp after slurp, and there are zero consequences because all that flesh will just grow back before she has time to even wipe her mouth. Now, I've spent a lot of time on the narrative so far, and believe me, I have just skimmed the surface of the iceberg that is this plot. But overall, on the Mal synopsis alone, Pupa sounds like it has something there that might intrigue us. Maybe you're disgusted by it, or maybe you think it sounds kind of stupid. Personally, I think conceptually, it doesn't actually sound that horrendous. Pupa, as the Mal reviewer Erariri puts it, is a symbolic story of an abused maiden, Yume, who upon entering puberty develops an abnormal and perilous love for her older brother Utsu. Seemingly a series which only caters to those who are gratified by gore and incestuous lust, Pupa actually explores, more than most other Emoto shows, the complexities of the tabooed love between siblings. Eriri is actually right. That is what this story is, and it doesn't matter one iota because that symbolism is lost in an overly complex pit, laughable animation, hammy acting, and incredibly bad pacing. The whole series is a complete abortion, and it's honestly not even worth engaging with on an intellectual level. So, rather than that, I would like to share with you some of my notes from the series in the form of a series recap. It's short, it's sweet, don't worry. Here's what happens in Pupa. Episode 1, lots of crappy CG butterflies. That's a theme. There are a lot of crappy CG butterflies in this show. Yuma attacked by a puppy. Yuma is a giant butterfly monster. Episode 2, domestic abuse story delightfully trivialized in a reenactment using teddy bears. #fail. Yuma eats her brother. Episode 3, randomly in a street as their dad appears on screen spouting philosophical nonsense, very Serial Experiments lane. Floating teddy head being all mean to Yuma, cuts to a toilet and she is munching on her brother. Blood looks like stool. A very weird episode all in all. Episode 4, apparently the brother is dead. We are back in the location of episode 2, but she is a girl again. Brother is carried off in a body bag. Yuma seems kind of shocked. Turns out he is fine. Turns out he is also infected. Maybe his father was the reason for this, but we'll never find out why. Episode 5, told from Mommy's perspective. Mommy ran away after screwing around with young boys. Mommy kills baby Yumi with a Stanley knife because she knows she's a monster. Mom, so traumatized by Yumi or the abuse from her husband, turns into a masochist. Quote, "Shiro-san, can you hit me again, please?" The father's reaction to this request was rather interesting. He said, and began stroking his beard. Episode 6, just wow. Episode 7, teddy bear recap of the previous episode. Naked pregnant woman in a breathing pool. Naked but won't take off her hat. A lot of fan service and a chained up dragon, ? Episode 8, tortured by some stranger they meet after school. Finger pokes the stranger's eye out. Yume starts crying. They are captured by a group of faceless shadows. Episode 9 and 10, performing surgery that, quote, is for the benefit of mankind, but we are performing this dissection with a chainsaw, okay? Yuma goes all elfin lead, kills a lot of guys as they stare on and do absolutely nothing about it. Reunion, warm embrace, let's go home. Episode 11, eating him out at school. Quote, "I love Yuma's expression after she's done eating me. Her face gets all calm and she looks more mature." Yuma's mouth is hanging open with a dead-eyed, lifeless expression and she's kind of groaning softly. I guess that's more mature. I guess. It's not so bad getting eaten by her. The last line of what I thought was the series, but there was another episode. Random flashback episode in a toy store. Utsu is trying to win a stuffed toy for Yuma. Fails, but gives her a hairpin she wore throughout the series. The end. That's basically the series. But you'll notice, keen-eared listeners and keen-eared Taka,
Yes.
that my recap for episode 6 was rather short. 2 words, in fact. Just wow. That episode was hands down one of the most incredible episodes of any anime I have ever seen. Now, rather than tell you what happened, I'd rather reenact the entire episode for you. I will play Yuma and Taka, you play Utsu. So here's your motivation. You're being eaten by your sister.
Okay.
So you're not going to say anything. You're just going to groan in kind of mild discomfort. Can you handle that?
Just every line, you just want me to groan.
You just continually
no
groan
lines.
softly. Ugh, ugh, ow, ow. Like that, basically.
Okay.
So this is basically episode 6.
Oni-chan. 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 Oni-chan.
Oh.
Oni-chan.
Oh.
Oni-chan. 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 Oni-chan.
Oh.
Yes, what you just experienced was all of episode 6. That was the whole thing. That weird scene just kept going and going and going. It was an unbelievable thing to witness. He just lay there in bed while Yuma ate him. We got slow motion chewing, lots of weird sexual energy. It was something else, and I recommend that all of you listening go check out episode 6. It's literally mind-blowing, and it's all on YouTube. Actually, just watch the whole series. It's awful, but an awfully memorable experience, and it will take like an hour of your life to watch it. That's it. That's Pupa, and it receives the Reanimator rating of an F for fun, because it was a lot of fun.